Hi, this video is going to explain assessment task 3 for you. I'll discuss the intentions behind the design of this assessment, as well as explain the different parts and what you need to submit in the Dropbox, and I'll go over the rubric as well. So we've designed this assessment to get you to experience the developing stage of an innovation. And we've chosen gamification. Now, gamification is, it's not new. It's been around for a long time, but it's got significant momentum in the last 5 to 10 years. And we thought that given the current climate, it might be nice to innovate on the need for teaching and delivering remotely. So this activity or this assessment task is getting you to take what's already out there in terms of gamification and develop something that is going to meet the need to be able to be taught and experienced by students in this remote delivery. So you need to choose one curriculum content descriptor. Okay, so any 7 to 10 content descriptor. If you choose for this to be a task for year 11 and 12, you will connect that to key knowledge and or key skill from your chosen specialization. You're going to develop this gamification activity connected to that content descriptor. And it could be absolutely anything. It could be a 5-minute, 10-minute warm-up, or it could be lasting for the whole lesson or a series of lessons. That is entirely up to you. You're going to develop this and present this to your peers who will provide you with some feedback. Now, this presentation will only go for 15 minutes. So if your task goes for longer than 15 minutes, you really need to think about which part of the activity that you will get your peers to experience. So here we want the experience. We want them to have a go at your activity to see its effectiveness. You need to produce a template, and this template I'll show in a moment is outlining the pedagogy and how you've connected to curriculum and the ICT capability. If you develop any handouts or PowerPoint presentation or something to present to your peers as well, you need to submit that. So anything that you present to your peers and you develop, you submit all of that as well as the template. So the template is going to obviously identify the content descriptor or the key knowledge or key skill that you've chosen for your specialization. You're describing the activity. You are providing limitations. What's kind of missing? What have you considered? And connections to the Victorian teaching and learning model. And you need to substantiate with academic references to connect to your pedagogical focus. So let's have a look at the template here. Now, don't get hung up on the words. Write in dot points. It's an academic equivalent. Okay, the curriculum outcomes are not counted in the word count as well. So here, give it a title. If you've chosen and developed your activity, please reference where you've developed it from. If it's something completely new, then you might just put in the source of the actual, online activity, as in where you've created it. Your name, where is the curriculum focus, which specialization, which year level are you focusing on? And here you can cut and paste directly from the VCAA, the content or the key knowledge or skill descriptors here. These are obviously going to be more detail in what you write. This first one here is, what is the intent? What is your understandings of gamification connected to your understandings of your pedagogy? And then in this remote digital learning world, where is the evidence base for this? Okay, so here you're going to connect to literature. You can connect to the ICT capability. You can connect to the pedagogical model here as well. Okay. Here, how does it, and you're kind of developing from what you've wrote in here, you're also developing here, how does that enrich the learning experience? Why is this a worthwhile task to be doing, especially in this remote digital learning world? Why will this work well with adolescent learners? What are the limitations? In this one here, this is what you're going to be doing in the activity. So you need to write enough there that someone can pick up, such as myself, and say, yep, okay, I could follow this, and teach it with similar outcomes that you expect. And lucky last references. Okay, so they're all references including the content and content descriptors and literature. So if you are a disability or a student welfare specialisation, you have a choice of either choosing your other specialisation, or you can do VCAL based on what you did in the senior secondary unit for assessment task 1. You can develop a gamified activity from one of the outcomes of that assessment task. All right, so the criteria, you need to think about the clarity of the template, okay, and any other handouts provided. We're looking for the links to curriculum. We're looking for links to gamification, as well as the ICT capability. The materials need to be appropriate for engagement of adolescent learners. Have you really chosen carefully the resources that you are using to, help this remote delivery setting? Are you clearly connecting your understandings of gamification, ICT, and remote delivery? Student engagement in the activity. Is it engaging? Is it catering to differentiation? Have you connected to the pedagogical model clearly to understand, the outcomes of this task? And the planning and the sequencing of delivery of this activity. Thinking about the pedagogical model, thinking about adolescent learning, differentiation. Are you clearly connecting those understandings of the junior and senior secondary learner, and then putting that into practice? And lastly, we have the peer evaluation, which you will be doing in the last session. We're using a tool called Feedback Fruits, and we will discuss that in session 12. So just to recap, you need to design one gamification activity that is connected to at least one curriculum content descriptor. You need to complete the template. You need to also submit any other handouts or materials created for the gamified activity, and it needs to be delivered in a online remote delivery space. Thanks. I hope you really enjoy creating this activity for assessment task 3.